92.7 KUFM News.
We are live from Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News around the world.
And in the headlines, Kenya get first woman Chief Justice. European Parliament backs United Kingdom trade deal. UNICEF takes 1.3 million Democratic Republic of Congo vaccines to avoid expiration. Details of these and more after this break. I am Omoye Ogbeide. A Kenyan Court of Appeal judge, Martha Koome, has been nominated as the country's next Chief Justice. Judge Koome becomes the country's first woman to hold the position. The Judicial Service Commission interviewed 10 candidates for the position, and she emerged top. Her nomination has now been forwarded by the Commission to the President for appointment. The United Nations Women Kenyan office has congratulated Justice Koome. Meanwhile, there have been mixed reactions to her appointment. One of the candidates, lawyer Fred Ngatia, is quoted by the Business Daily newspaper as saying that he was rigged out. Ngatia trended on Twitter all day on the day he was being interviewed on live television. Botswana President Mokgweetsi Masisi has gone into self-isolation after coronavirus cases were detected among his staff members. The president had been set to take part in regional talks in Mozambique meant to discuss the insecurity in Cabo Delgado region. His vice president will instead lead the delegation from Botswana for a meeting on Wednesday and a summit on Thursday in Mozambique. The attacks in Cabo Delgado are of great concern to the Southern African region as refugees flee to neighboring countries. And the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, will redistribute to other countries more than 1 million doses of vaccines meant for the Democratic Republic of Congo so they don't expire. According to UNICEF, the vaccines distributed under the Global COVAX initiative expire on 24th of June. About 1.3 million doses out of the 1.7 million doses will now go to other countries including Senegal, Comoros, Ghana, and Angola. The country had delayed its rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccines, which it received in March, over concerns that they could be linked to rare blood clots. It began its vaccination campaign on 19th of April, but only 1,265 people have received the jab. And the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention has announced the fully vaccinated Americans do not need to wear a mask when they are outdoors. The new guidelines say those who have received or required jabs can ditch their face coverings if only or in small groups of vaccinated people. But the Center for Disease Control left in place the guidance to don a mask indoors and in crowded settings or venues. Over 95 million Americans have been fully vaccinated thus far. Following the CDC announcement on Tuesday, President Joe Biden celebrated the new guidance with extraordinary progress. And President Joe Biden is expected to call for the most sweeping revamp of the United States benefits since the 1960s as he delivers his first address to the joint session of Congress. Speaking on the eve of his 100th day in office, the Democrats will pitch $4 trillion of spending on childcare, education, and family leave. He already passed a $2 trillion COVID package. History will also be made as two women sit behind the president for the first time during a speech to Congress. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi will both wear masks at the restroom during Wednesday night's primetime address. And the European Parliament has ratified the post-Brexit EU-UK trade deal, a key move to ensure that tariff and quota-free trade continues. The Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, has been operating provisionally since January. MEPs voted in favor by 660 votes to 5, while 32 abstained. The United Kingdom's chief negotiator, Lord Frost, said the vote brings certainty and allows them to focus on the future. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke of a final step in a long journey. He said the trade deal provided stability to new relationship with the EU as vital trading partners, close allies and sovereign equals. The result, announced on Wednesday after a vote late on Tuesday, was also welcomed by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. An Australian man has received a 10-month jail sentence for filming and mocking police officers as they lay dying at a crash scene. Last month, Richard Pusey pleaded guilty to the rare charge of outraging police decency, public decency, as well as other offences. The 42-year-old has already been in custody for nearly 300 days, so he will likely complete his sentence within days. The sentencing judge called his actions heartless, cruel, and disgraceful. Still, families of the victims were disappointed with the length of the sentence in the case that has stirred huge public anger. Last month, Judge Trevor Wright said the media had demonized Pusey to the point where he was probably the most hated man in Australia. And that's KFM's news around the world. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Get first woman Chief Justice. European Parliament backs United Kingdom trade deal. UNICEF takes 1.3 million Democratic Republic of Congo vaccines to avoid expiration. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also on YouTube at KFM Nigeria. KFM's News Around the World was produced by Nosakai Uwadiai. I am Omoyo Gbaidis, and thanks for listening. Good afternoon.